Parc y Scarlets is the setting for this round 6 clash in the URC, the last of this opening block before we take a break for the autumn internationals. And the Scarlets are hoping to win 3 in a row for the first time since February of 2023. Well, 8 Scarlets were named in Warren Gatland's Wales squad this week, and all 8 feature here tonight. We saw a couple of them in the pack there, and Ioan Lloyd is lining up at 15 this evening after starting the last 2 games at 10. The last 2 games, of course, being victories for the Scarlets after a draw and 2 losses in the opening rounds. As for the visitors, well, there are 5 Zebre players in the Italian squad, 4 of whom are on show tonight. And their victory over Munster, that shock victory over Munster, is now receding in the memory. They've lost 3 in a row, have Zebre, coming here tonight hoping to bring that run to an end. And there's still a fair bit of experience in that 15, so too on the bench, where Luca Bigi, the 48 times capped former Italy skipper, will be hoping to make an impact. Well, it was a famous night at Parc y Scarlets this time last week, when the Scarlets dug deep and beat the much fancied Bulls of Pretoria with that wonder try from Tom Rogers in the final 10 minutes. And there are hopes in these parts that will kickstart their season. As mentioned, they came close to winning all 3 of their opening games but failed to get over the line, and now victories, first over Cardiff, now over the Bulls, as they go in search of 3 victories in a row for the first time in 18 months. Conditions are set fair here this evening. It's mild for October, not much in the way of wind, and crucially it's dry, and that Parc y Scarlets pitch is looking magnificent. And it's a very warm welcome to my co-commentator tonight, former Scarlets and Wales legend, he recently retired, Jarrod Davies. Evening, Jonathan.
Ross, how are you doing? What a night here for a game of rugby. Should be perfect conditions, and I think looking forward to seeing the Scarlets really building on the momentum they've gained with the last 2 victories. They obviously would have been hugely disappointed with the start, but they've come back with 2 strong wins, and I'm sure they were looking to get the victory here tonight at home in front of a good crowd.
Yeah, the crowd played a huge part in last week's victory against the Bulls. The choruses of hymns and arias and Sospan Vath ringing out across the stands and urging their team over the line. And they'll be looking to play a similar role here tonight. As we mentioned, the last of these URC fixtures before we take a break for the November internationals. And Scarlets rewarded for their last 2 victories with 8 players in Warren Gatland's Wales squad, as they prepare to enter the field of play, led by captain Josh Macleod. And Tom Rogers, the first out onto the pitch, the hero of last week. And there is Taine Plumtree, the man of the match from last week. Colossal effort from the New Zealand-born Welsh international. He's one of those 8 named in Warren Gatland's squad, and he'll be hoping to continue in that rich vein of form. And Ioan Lloyd, interestingly, as we mentioned, number 15 this evening. We spoke to him on Premier Sports a few weeks back and asked him what position he wanted to play, and he said fairly unequivocally, I want to play 10. But that man is in possession of the 10 jersey. Not that man, the man we've just seen, Sam Costelow. That's tonight's referee, Morne Ferreira. Quinton Immelman is the man in the truck looking after TMO duties tonight. And Sam Costelow gets us underway at Parc y Scarlets. And Zambonin, who climbs high and plucks that one from the air. Well, first decision of the night goes in the Scarlets' favour, and it will be a scrum down just outside the 22. An opportunity now for this Scarlets front row, an all-international front row, to assert itself. Alec Hepburn, the former England international and now Scottish international, on the loose head tonight. Ryan Elias, the former Scarlet skipper at hooker, and Henry Thomas on this near tight head side.
Well, what great opportunity to start the game to attack here now for the Scarlets. I think they'll look at the side where and how Zebre set up their defensive system, and then you'll see Costelow and Rogers sweeping around one side, which they want to choose to attack on.
Yeah, Tommy Rogers stood directly behind Costelow at the back of this opening scrum as Gareth Davies digs it out from a steady platform that goes to Tom Rogers. There's the goose step, cuts back inside, reminiscent of last week. He is an evasive runner, but Zebre will be well aware of what he's capable of. Zebre's defence has been decent so far in this campaign. As Gareth Davies spins it out to Eddie James, the big centre. Another Scarlet in the Wales squad this week. Ooh, big hits coming in early from Zebre. The ball safely recycled by the Scarlets as Taine Plumtree the next to receive it, but he is manhandled back and manages to get the ball away to Sam Costelow, who himself runs into traffic. Sam Lousi. Efficient stuff from the Scarlets. Backdoor pass from Eddie James, but Max Page just doesn't manage to hold on to that one. And frustrating for the Scarlets as that opening attack comes to a halt.
You know, great defensive set first up there for Zebre. They would have taken huge confidence from that. They're, you know, very physical in the tackle area, and you know, they'll look now to just exit cleanly and put the pressure back on the Scarlets. But promising start from the Zebre defence. They, like you said, they're going to take great confidence from that defensive set.
So, looks like an early injury replacement. Giovanni Licata, the Zebre number 8, is leaving the field, and he's been replaced by Giacomo Ferrari with number 20 on his back. I'll tell you as soon as we find out whether that's a temporary or a permanent replacement.
Crouch.
So Alessandro Fusco preparing to put this ball into the scrum.
I think Ferrari would have just been tucking into his sweets on the bench then, and then he would have just had a quick full on there. Get on, son, have a go.
Yeah, that's quite the early introduction into the action, isn't it? Not what he'd have been expecting at all. So it's a
Crouch.
head injury assessment.
Bind.
So we'll wait and see whether Licata's afternoon is done or not. As Fusco feeds. Well, the ball hasn't been hooked back, and Fusco's looking for it, and it's right where it began, and the Scarlets have it back. Gareth Davies attempts to get the ball out, and is obstructed. And the Scarlets will now have a penalty. First opportunity for points this evening in Llanelli.
After the big test last week against the Bulls up front in the set piece, they would have taken good confidence from the performance last week, and you could tell that scrum was solid there from that front row, and you know, a lot of experience there. And I think you know, positive start from the Scarlets here just to get the scoreboard ticking over and look to build a score.
So it's Ioan Lloyd then who's been given the kicking duties. As mentioned, he's started the last 2 games at 10 and has been kicking, so he'll carry on. He's up towards the top of the charts for point scorers in the URC this season. Has proved quite the reliable marksman from the tee. One of those Scarlets who maybe hoped he'd be named in the Wales squad. It wasn't to be on this occasion. And it's struck cleanly, and it goes between the uprights. So first blood for the Scarlets here this evening. Ioan Lloyd penalty taken into a 3-0 early lead.
The team of Scarlets, the first points of the evening, goes to the Scarlets, and the goal kick by number 15, Ioan Lloyd.
Giovanni Montemauri with the restart. And a bit of a fumble from the Scarlets in their 22, so Zebre with an opportunity now to put something together. It's a deep and high pass to Priscantelli, and he sees maybe there's an opportunity for a drop goal. He's back in the pocket, and casually as you like, he swipes it over.
No messing there. I think he saw his opportunity and took it. You know, the last thing the Scarlets would have wanted there, they would have talked about a clean exit from the kickoff and make sure they put pressure on Zebre with their kick chase and, you know, giving up possession there. And, you know, Fischetti takes it very well there, and, you know, 3-all in a shot of an eye.
So Zambonin once again the recipient at the restart. All square now at Parc y Scarlets. Perfect riposte from the visitors. Casually struck drop goal from Fischetti.
Use it.
That's a high kick and no one goes up to claim it, and it bounces into the hands of Fischetti. Zebre on the halfway line. Montemari goes to the skies. Oh, Sam Costelow tracked that one, but just took his eye off the ball at the crucial moment. So that's territory one for Zebre, and they will have the put-in at the scrum.
I think early signs from the way Zebre are looking to set up their kicking game. They're looking to contest and put in the Scarlets backfield under pressure with, you know, good chase in there and putting, you know, Costelow there felt that pressure, coughed it up, and, you know, a couple of errors here now that they need to clean up for the Scarlets.
And penalty goal for Zebre was kicked by the number 15, Jarrod Taylor.
I need a cue from you.
There he is, Sam Costelow. Came off the bench last week and managed the game really well in those closing stages, those last 10-15 minutes.
Crouch.
Very calm heads were required.
Bind.
And he's been rewarded with a start at 10.
Time is off. There's a gap for each of your heads.
I guess these weekends, John, after a world squad's been announced, they must be difficult ones for coaches to manage when some of your charges have got the ultimate honour in being picked and others missed out when they thought perhaps they would be in the frame. That's where the man management comes in, I guess.
Yeah, it's very tough to manage. You know, boys would be very disappointed and some boys would be extremely happy, but I think what you've got to try and focus the boys on is the task at hand, and there's an opportunity here for the Scarlets to get 3 from 3, and I think that would be the message throughout the week, is focusing on the task of the group, not just the individuals. And it's, you know, sometimes difficult, but you know, that's what the coach should do.
So Zebre launch off the back of that scrum, and they get the ball out wide immediately in the hands of Simon Gessi, and that's a great step, great fend, back inside. Scarlets desperately scrambling in defence now. They hold the man up in the tackle, calling for the maul, but the ball's gone to ground. And that was seriously impressive stuff from Zebre. Now it's the close quarter stuff. Zambonin inches towards that try line. Scarlets managing to reset. Josh Macleod with the dominant tackle. Danger still on here though for Zebre. Montemari, crossfield kick into the hands of Cambriani, and it was simple in the end. He was isolated out on the wing. Scarlets scrambling to cover the length of the field, and they've been found out there, John.
Oh, great try. The starter worked well. They drew in the Scarlets defence, which got slightly tight, and they were able to get on the edge, and there was great footwork there by Gessi to get on the outside into the 22, and then the patience from the forwards, used their physicality, and they saw the opportunity wide, and it was great execution of the kick to the winger, and it was a great score and real composure there to finish that one off.
And to rub a bit of salt into the wound, Ben Cambriani, despite the very Italian name, is actually of Welsh stock and a former Osprey Academy graduate, John, so he'll have enjoyed that as much as anyone.
I'm sure the old Lucker Bridge rivalry would have still be in those veins. I'm sure to say that. But no, great try, great patience, and you know, that's what you'd want for away from home. It's just that composure to execute when you get the opportunities.
So Montemari, whose crossfield kick created that try, doesn't manage to add the extras, so 5-3 the score remains, but just evidence, if we needed it, that Zebre have come to play, and they may be rattling around the lower reaches of the table in 15th place, but Well, they want to be. They are a serious opponent, as Munster found out to their detriment in round 2 this season. Now then, how will the Scarlets respond? Max Page, Plumtree on the angle, but the ball is robbed in mid-flight. Simone Gessie, a much smaller man, just manages to rip the ball from Plumtree's grasp. Josh Macleod up in defence, the captain.
And use it!
And Fusco charged down by Lousi, recovers, scrambles, gets his hand on the ball, and Priscantelli clears the danger. So that ball will roll into touch on the far side of the field, and we'll have a line out for the Scarlets.
A few errors just creeping into the game now for the Scarlets. You know, coughing up possession when getting momentum and in behind Zebre there. From he bust the tackle, Taine, and he needed to just retain possession. But Zebre here now, and they've definitely come to play. There's real energy in their kick chase, and they're looking to put Scarlets under pressure. Where I know one of the main goals, I'm sure, the Scarlets tonight are looking to play is with tempo, and at the moment the visitors are dictating that.
They certainly are, but a bit more disruption for Zebre now. They've already lost Licata to HIA, and now the most experienced member of their starting 15, Danilo Fischetti, leaving the field, clutching his ribs and kicking a bottle of water in frustration for his troubles. So Mohamed Hassa comes on a lot earlier than he thought.
Old 5.
Line out successfully won by the Scarlets as Gareth Davies sends that box kick high up into the West Wales air, but it's well taken by Cambriani, the try scorer. And once again that ball goes cross field, and Tom Rogers is backtracking to receive it. Under pressure from Gessie. Gessie charges down. Who's going to win the foot race? Ioan Lloyd, desperate in defence again. The Scarlets down that same left-hand touchline. Ioan Lloyd manages to get the ball to ground, and reinforcements arrive. But the Scarlets once again find themselves 6-7 metres from their own try line.
Use it.
Caterpillar ruck form just gives Davis a little bit more time to clear the danger. But Zebre have clearly identified something here, John, and they're finding space on both touchlines.
Yeah, I think that the width that Zebre are setting up are really bringing the wingers forward in the front line, and then that's just exploiting a little bit of space in behind. Tommy initially covered the space well to retreat back, but obviously the charge down. Scarlets just inviting a bit too much pressure on themselves at the moment, and just need to get a grasp of this game.
Line out one cleanly from Zebre as Maurici charges into midfield. Did that ball go forwards? Referees on the spot says no. Canali. And that's Messi on the floor again. The Scarlets get a chance to launch a counter. Max Page puts boot to ball, sees a huge bit of green space in front of him. Zebre have the track back through Priscantelli. He's got Montemari with him, but opts to kick himself. And that is a big territorial gain for the Scarlets.
Yeah, great work there by Max Page, just to see the space and just put the ball in fine grass, and Blair Murray following it up, making a good kick, a better kick with a great kick chase. And this is now an opportunity for Scarlets to get in the game, get gain line momentum and just build on their game. I think that's key for them now.
Good quick ball again off the top for the Scarlets. Eddie James, the target in midfield, and he does well. Drags two defenders over the gain line with him when we go left. That's a loose pass from Costelow, and Blair Murray has to clean things up and runs into a barrage of yellow jerseys.
No.
Zambonin told to get his hands away from that ball. And again it spills out on the floor, and Taine Plumtree is the first onto it.
Get off your feet playing the ball.
No advantage coming. We'll come back for that penalty. Zebre off their feet.
Off feet playing the ball.
The ball's like a bar of soap tonight, John, squeezing out from every kind of rock or mull.
Well, we talked up the conditions, saying there was an opportunity to play, but yeah, I don't know whether there's something on that ball that we don't know about, but I think it's frustrating for the Scarlets. They're obviously looking to play with tempo and put the pressure on Zebre, but they just need to tighten up a bit. I think look at some of the senior boys just to get a calming influence. I think it was a great start to that last line out, getting Eddie James over that gain line, and you know, that short side looked like it was on. It's just the execution, but you know, a simple game plan here now. Either get the drive going or get big Eddie James up the middle to get momentum, to get the forwards into the game. I think they'll feel that they want to get their hands on the ball now and get a few carries going.
Yeah, he's such a big man. Eddie James in the midfield, so difficult to stop with a head of steam. This time, Josh Macleod spots a bit of space on the blind side, but his pass finds a member of the opposition. And then once again, just a bit of sloppiness creeping into the Scarlets' play.
I don't know whether that was a pre-planned move or not, but it seemed to work, whatever the call was. But you know, it's frustrating. You get opportunity and you just can't quite execute. But you know, the signs are there that there's going to be opportunities for the Scarlets tonight, and with these early changes the Zebre have to make, you know, they're going to have to work hard for the full 80. So you know, there's promising signs. I think it's I think, like we've talked about, just that get the error out of the game, and there's opportunities for sure.
Gareth Davies doing his best to harry and hassle his opposite number at the base of that scrum. And another breakdown penalty goes the Scarlets' way. And this now is a promising position. Josh Macleod, the man at the bottom of that ruck. But it was a croc roll that the penalty came from. Davide Ruggeri singled out by the referee, and interestingly, Sam Costelow decides this one's going to the corner.
There's definitely some confidence in the driving more. You know, I'm pretty certain that would be the call right now. But yeah, no, I think it's a confident move, and I think it's the right call these days. You very rarely see teams going for 3, although you can't beat the scoreboard ticking over, in my opinion.
We'll find out now whether it was the right decision. Job 1 done. Line out 1 by Max Douglas. And the Scarlets about 7 metres out now, but this maul is beginning to move forwards. But now Gareth Davies is told to use it. He assesses his options. Eddie James, as he so often does, charges into the heart of the defence. Plumtree next. There's Alec Hepburn, socks down, long hair flowing. The former Exeter chief, Henry Thomas. He's only going to go one way. Andreani just getting in the way of Gareth Davies, slowing that ball down just enough for Zebre to reset that defensive line. Here comes Sam Lousi, stays on his feet well, the big Tongan. But once again, as we've seen so often in these opening 20 minutes, the ball squirts out, and Zebre, through Simone Gessi, will launch another counter-attack. Kicks the ball back in field. Tom Rogers is back to cover. Now then, Tom Rogers fancies a go. He's got his tail up from last week, and he's way inside the Zebre half. Eddie James, though, can't hold on to the pass. It's getting scrappy from both sides. Montemauri, Priscantelli goes left, goes right. Eventually hoofs the ball downfield, and it stays infield. Harem-scarem stuff here at Parc y Scarlets. Ioan Lloyd decides to join in the fun. One-handed, carves through the Zebre defence. Off to Eddie James. Now there's space. He can go inside and outside. Ioan Lloyd caught in 2 minds and tackled by Montemauri, but Scarlett still on the front foot. Need quick ball now. Max Douglas, Max Page, the footwork. We've seen him cross the line this season. Oh, but Zebre desperately scrambling in defence, and the Scarlets go off their feet at the ensuing ruck. And it's a story of the night so far, John. Plenty of chances, but too many errors.
Well, that was definitely a lung burner passage of play there. You know, back and forth with the kick chases, and I think this game will open up eventually for the Scarlets. And yeah, that was a great break by Ioan Lloyd, and he had the support from Eddie James. And I think when you get into the 22 here, they showed a bit of patience, but just that ball toughness. It's when the try line's beckoning, you've got to make sure that you're looking after that prize possession. Have that ball around tight around the arm. You've got to make sure you protect it. And Scarlets can take a lot of positives out of that. They've got opportunities, but they need to start converting now. Otherwise, you're giving Zebre confidence. We talked their defence up at the start of the game, and this will allow them to grow into it now.
Yeah, Zebre actually made the most dominant tackles in the last round of the URC up against the Lions, a physical team from South Africa. So it's evidence that this Zebre side can pack a punch. And Richard Hodges, of course, joined the defensive team before being poached by the Italian national side, a coach who was very familiar to us in Wales, formerly of Cardiff. And they're not an easy beat these days by any stretch.
No, you can see the desire, and they want to defend. They want to get off the line. There's that energy in every set at the moment. So it's good to see that, But Scarlets need to have patience with the ball now.
The athletic Andrea Zambonin soaring high for that lineout again. Zebre lineout's gone well tonight. But that maul is pretty static, so Fusco sticks the ball in the air, which has been a tactic all night long so far. And in fact, as well as having the most dominant tackles last week, Zebre kicked the ball more than any other side as well. So a clear indication of their tactics these last 2 weeks.
And use it.
Tom Rogers with the chase, putting pressure on these Zebre catches. Fusco to Di Bartolomeo.
And use it, clearly onside.
And again, Fusco goes to the air, really high hanging kick, and Ioan Lloyd leaps off his feet to gather that one. Didn't take it cleanly, but it's back on the Scarlet side. Plumtree. Scarlets send the ball high up for Tom Rogers to chase. It's gone backwards off Tom Rogers, so anyone's ball. So Lousi and his opposite number, Zambonin, both scrabbling for him on the floor. Zambonin adjudged to have gone off his feet, so another penalty for the Scarlets, this one on the 10-metre line.
A meeting of minds here, asking the front row, I think, if they fancy it, and then Yos is having a shot here. So I think it's the right call. They've had a huge amount of pressure the last 5 minutes in the Zebre half, so you've got to reward yourself with that. And 3 points now, get back, don't do what you did off the last kickoff and cough it up, clean exit, and have a real calmness about rebuilding and putting pressure back on Zebre. But it's it's a real attritional game so far, very, very physical. But the Scarlets can take a lot of positives of how opportunities seem to be showing as the game moves on.
So Ioan Lloyd successful with his first attempt in the 4th minute. Scarlets spurned their last kickable penalty to go for the corner, but this time they've opted for the posts. Into the floodlights it goes, and through the posts it goes, as the Scarlets claw their way back into this encounter. The deficit now just 2 points. Scarlets 6, Zebre 8.
Goal lost, penalty goal for the Scarlets, kicked by number 15, Ioan Lloyd. Ioan is sponsored by Sterling Trust Finance.
Well, there it is in black and white, or rather red and yellow, John. 8 Scarlets handling errors to Zebra's 1.
Not what you wanted in the first 20 minutes, but they can take, you know, a lot of positives from the fact that they have created, and I think, you know, a real calmness now. Yeah, as I was talking up the calmness of the exit, was probably too calm and relaxed. I think probably took a bit too long, and now look, they've just coughed up a great opportunity for Zebre to launch their attack into the 22. You know, I feel Zebre have been piggybacked back into the Scarlets 22 a few times now, and been given opportunities where the Zebre defence are making the Scarlets work. So there's a real contrast in how the opportunities are being given to both sides, and I think you know, Scarlets need to shore up that and make, you know, Zebre earn their points, not give them easy opportunities. And the President won't be too happy, I'm sure. Yeah.
He doesn't seem delighted, does he, Derek Brunel? But maybe that's just his resting expression.
I'm not telling him that. But no, I'm sure he's painting the picture for a lot of Scarlet supporters here tonight after the first 20. But you know, there's still plenty to go.
Time back on.
Nice to be back, John, and not having to run into massive forwards all night long.
Well, the physicality levels here in the first 20 minutes, it is quite nice to be sat on this nice warm seat and enjoying a game of rugby. Yeah, but it's you know, obviously you do miss it. This place has some fond memories here, and you know, it is great to be back here watching rugby.
Line behind the ball.
So Fusco feeds, and the ball's there at the feet of the number 8. And Zebre, well, they've been pretty clinical when they have been in the 22 so far, and here they are again. Canali, the big knock forwards, but again, just mistakes on the floor. This time, Zebre coming in from the side, and a promising attacking platform crumbles to dust.
I think there was a real eagerness there from Zambonin to get a shot there on Josh Macleod, thinking that he was going to get over the ball, but he was nowhere near it. So rightly so in from the side, and an opportunity for Zebre gone back in.
Yeah, timing's everything in those situations, and as you say, a little over eager.
On a mark, please, Luca.
He was actually top of the dominant tackle charts against the Lions, was Zambonin. Mentioned earlier that Zebre as a team were top of the dominant tackle charts across the league, and he was their best tackler on the night.
More.
So Plumtree
Over.
takes the ball cleanly in the line out, and Scarlets get this rolling ball moving now towards the 10-metre line.
And use it.
And now back to Eddie James, who rides the first tackle. Lousi running into that yellow brick wall, really committed in defence to this Zebre outfit. Max Douglas, the next to try and punch a hole.
Taken back.
Standing a bit deeper there, and football skills from Geronimo Priscantelli.
Retreat.
Deliberately kicks in field on the outside of his boots, and Sam Costelow gobbles that one up. Max Douglas, big, rangy Australian. He's been a good signing for the Scarlets. And now maybe there's a chance on the edge here. Plumtree delays his pass. Tom Rogers, the whole field opens up in front of him. Guessing with a desperate, despairing tackle. Does he get it over the line? The referee's got his arm up. The touch judge keeps his flag down. And Tom Rogers, as he did last week, dives over in the right-hand corner. And just like that, the Scarlets are in front.
Great play there from the Scarlets. I think the patience in the kicking battle, initially from putting the pressure on, kicking in the corner, and then seeing the opportunities here. Watch Eddie James, the pace he goes to the line and just draws in 2 defenders to release Plumtree on the outside. Great work on that edge, and great patience just to hold your feet and hit the line at the right time. Great try. That's not an easy finish there from Tommy Rogers. You know, to know where your body is, and as you've been spun around like that, that's fantastic work. And you know, he's definitely playing with a huge amount of confidence, and you know, he's showing, you know, why the Welsh selectors have put him in the squad this week. You know.
Great finish, wouldn't it? I had my eye on the assistant referee all the way, thinking surely he's dragged him into touch there, but like you say, brilliant awareness to keep his legs in field. It's
something that wingers do now. They are practicing, understanding where their body is to the line, trying to, you know, make it easy for them to get those finishes, because you see those fine margins in games where they miss out on tries. But no, great work from Tommy Rogers there.
So Ioan Lloyd unsuccessful with the attempt, the hardest kick of the night so far for Ioan Lloyd. He drags it across the face of the posts. Will matter not, because the Scarlets, after a number of false starts, have got the try they so desperately craved, and it was a beauty as well.
Right, let's see if the Scarlets can exit from a kick-off.
As you will have just heard over the stadium tannoy, Ben Cambriani, the try scorer, has unfortunately left the field. So Gonzalo Garcia, the replacement scrum half, is on, so he'll perhaps go on the wing, as Fusco remains at scrum half.
It's a great opportunity now for the Scarlets defence to really impose themselves on the Zebre attack. You know, we've talked the Zebre defence up now. The line being led by Josh Macleod. See if they can get around the corner and meet these big Italian forwards.
Well, Garcia is playing at scrum half. So a bit of a reshuffle in the Zebre backline. And one of Garcia's first involvements is to fling a forward pass, marginally forward pass, over the top to Simone Gessi. But whenever Gessi's got anywhere near the ball tonight, Johnny, he has looked dangerous.
He has. I think he has a great skill set. He's put the ball on his foot a few times to find space, and I think he has a real feel for the game. And definitely the battle between him and Tommy Rogers is going to be a good one tonight. So, and it's already been a good battle. So yeah, interesting to see who comes up on top. But great defensive set for the Scarlets to get the ball back there now and launch another attack.
Crouch. Point. Set. Both down. Play away.
So Scarlets looking to play from inside their own half. It's a good pass from Eddie James across the face of that Zebre defence. Here's Blair Murray. We know how dangerous he can be. He hasn't had much chance to run so far in this game. But Blair Murray, another Scarlets included in Warren Gatland's squad, one of the 2 uncapped players in that squad, and well, quite the rise to fame for Blair Murray in his first season for the Scarlets. As Sam Costelow puts a high-hanging kick up towards Tommy Rogers, but Gessi leaps into the air and plucks it from Rogers' grasp.
It's another win there probably for the Zebre defence. Scarlets had a good attack initially from the starter, but then decide to kick after losing momentum from a couple of carries. But great take there by Gessi, and Scarlets now have the ball to chance to attack and build.
Hepburn. He's been a willing carrier since he signed for the Scarlets. Vastly experienced Alec Hepburn. And now Sam Lousi just manages to slip the first tackle, but Zebre swallow him up. Ryan Elias.
Leave it now. Off feet. Use it.
I think the more the Scarlets can keep the ball, the more opportunities going to show for them. The Zebre defence, although being very physical, is starting to look a little bit tight in their line speed. They're just a bit slower coming off the line. So, it's important now they just keep the ball or kick and put them under pressure.
Just a different type of kick there from Costelow. Chip over the top of that Zebre defence, making them turn, and that's Giacomo Ferrari.
And use it!
Garcia, the
yellow.
Argentinian international at scrum half. Zebre already having used half of their substitutes. And Ioan Lloyd almost trundles upfield. And the grubber kick is trapped and kicked football style, hacked on by Briscantelli.
A great touch and clearance there. Fair play.
Was that just more like Inter Milan than Zebre Parma? He was one of the try scorers in that epic victory over Munster, that amazing comeback. Stadio Lanfranchi. So it was a bit of a false storm. They've not been really in a winning position since. It was a 1-point game against the Lions last week, but they lost heavily to Glasgow in between.
Okay guys, time is still off. 4 in, time is still off.
So here's the international, or soon to be international, hooker Tommaso Di Bartolomeo, named in Gonzalo Quesada's squad this week. There's Andreani. Gonzalo Garcia, well, it was a fumble at the base of that ruck, but the referee was on the spot and he said it went backwards. Zebre breathe again. There was a knock-on immediately afterwards, and it'll be a scrum down for the Scarlets. And well, a lot of frustration from both sides, just a lack of fluidity when they go through the phases.
Yeah, it has been a bit stop-start, and a decent starter there from Zebre to get a little bend down that short side, but frustration there, not being able to keep the ball and keep on top of the Scarlets. I think with 5 minutes to go, both teams would be looking just to finish strongly and get some reward from the hard work before half-time.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Well, I think that was on this tight head side. Henry Thomas for the Scarlets, up against Mohamed Hassan, the substitute. And as is often the case with a penalised prop, the default expression is one of bewilderment.
Pleads innocence, everyone does.
But penalty Scarlets, and it's given an opportunity now for Sam Costelow to bang that ball back into Zebre territory, and 3.5 minutes left of this first half.
I think the Scarlets will be a bit of frustration. I'm sure the coaches will have their plan ready for half-time, but like I said, opportunity now to really use Eddie James or Sam Lousi standing in the background, get them on the ball, get them over the gain line, and just have a crack before half-time.
Exactly as you predicted, there's Eddie James, but it was a very delicate pass to Sam Lousi running on his outside shoulder. Almost fooled that Zebre defence. Slightly overran that pass, and it's led to another knock-on, and these handling errors now into the double figures for the Scarlets. Conditions, as we've said a couple of times, John, seem pretty good tonight, but maybe there's a bit of dew on the grass, a bit of mist in the air.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, I think we might be clutching there.
Let's go, guys.
But no, I think the Scarlets obviously want to play with tempo, and a great touch there from Eddie, Eddie James to put Sam Lousi in a half gap, get momentum, gain line, and there was just a bit of disruption at the bottom, the base of the ruck there that just stalled the attack for the Scarlets. But you know, over 10 handling errors in the first half. You know, with so many turnovers, you can't build a game and you can't put a team under pressure. And I think that's been the story of this first half. I'm sure the coaches will want to rectify it for the second.
Set. And use it.
Well, that scrum has got quite messy quite quickly. Advantage to Zebre, so a free play off the base of that one. It's a telegraph pass and a good tackle from Sam Costelow on his opposite number. We'll come back for that penalty.
3 on the angle and 7 coming up as a false front row.
So two scrums in quick succession, and the penalties have gone, one in the Scarlets' favour and one in Zebre's favour. Such are the vagaries of the front row. 2 minutes ago, Henry Thomas was the hero, and now he's the one who's giving away a penalty.
But he pulled the same face.
Henry Thomas, one of 2 dual internationals in that Scarlets front row. 7 caps for England and now 4 for Wales. And Alec Hepburn, 6 caps for Scotland. Or rather 6 caps for England and now 4 for Scotland. So ball to the back for Zebre this time.
Tackle now.
To keep it in the maul, but the tackle is complete. Good tackle from Josh Macleod, taking the sting out of that Zebre attack. Andreani. Henry Thomas over the ball in a good position. He's appealing for the turnover, but ref says no. Garcia.
Number 6 croc roll.
And that's the second croc roll of the night for Zebre.
Number 6 croc
And
roll.
I believe it's the same player responsible, Davide Ruggeri.
I think that's just a sign of the Scarlets getting over the ball early and quickly is putting the support runners of Zebre under pressure, and they're not in position early enough to, well, they won't be happy with that.
Priscantelli just manages to stop that ball going into touch and launches an attack into Scarlets territory. And he's injured himself as Priscantelli in the contact, so Zebre a man down temporarily, and the clock's in the red, and Montemauro, seeing his colleague writhing on the floor, thinks that will do for now, and boots the ball into the stands as Dwayne Peel makes his way down to the changing rooms. It's been an intriguing first half here at Parc y Scarlets. 1 try apiece for the hosts and the visitors. 11-8 the score. Second half coming up very soon. So it's finally poised here at Parc y Scarlets. 11-8 the score, as Giovanni Montemauri prepares to get us underway for this second half. And the Scarlets have shown glimpses of promise in that first half, but just lacking the cutting edge or that final pass to add to their tally. Interesting to see what's been said at half-time, whether there'll be any kind of change in approach. That's a dressing room you've been in many times, Jonathan Davis. Do you think Dwayne Peel would have kept his calm at half-time?
I think there would have been a bit of frustration shown. I think the standards they did have expected after the last couple of weeks would have not been there in that first half performance. But I think he would have been preaching like the opportunity this second 40 minutes to get some energy in the attack, in defence, and just put Zebre under pressure. You know, this it's going to be, you know, a tough second half to break them down. But I think there were signs in the first half of the Zebre team just looking a little tired in that defensive effort. So look, big half of the Scarlets now, an opportunity to get on the board, put some pressure on, and it's got to come here now in this transition area, just trying to put Zebre under pressure, like Zebre were doing to the Scarlets.
Don't appear to have been any half-time substitutions, as you'll be aware. Zebre made a few in that first half, one of which was Gonzalo Garcia coming on at scrum half and Alessandro Fusco shifting to the wing, so they've had to cope with the backline reshuffle.
And that'll be critical now in these kicking battle exchanges, with a change in backline personnel. Zebre are going to have to be making sure they communicate clearly, knowing who's chasing, who isn't, because that will give opportunities for the Scarlets to exploit that space. And this is going to be, we probably won't understand it because it'd be in Italian, but a bit just to see whether they can manage that backfield correctly.
Time is off. Time off.
So a bit of consultation between Alec Hepburn and Ryan Elias.
It's too close. Yeah, you guys are 6.
Consultation still going on.
Yeah, time back on.
Luca Andreani joins the lineouts. And Taine Plumtree, the recipient once again. Ryan Elias. Eddie James. Oh, and this is beautiful. Max Page cuts an angle, puts on the afterburners, rounds his man, and that is a sensational try from Max Page, the teenage wonder. And what a start to this second half for the Scarlets. Eddie James puncturing the hole, and Max Page doing all the rest. Magnificent stuff.
What a line, what a line. But you've got to appreciate the work Eddie James has done there now. He's setting up the first try, but there, if you watch, as the ball comes out to him, he just draws the defenders to him. And Max, it's a great line. And then the youngster has confidence. He's got bags and bags of pace. He's played a lot on the wing as well, and he's just backed himself, shown his confidence after the great start of the season he's had, and he's just finished off a great try. And he's I'm sure he's enjoyed that one. But great timing at the line, and that's what you want. You've got to put the defenders under pressure to make decisions. And Max is obviously very chuffed with that one.
Well, they've had some good players in that number 13 jersey of the Scarlets. And looks like he's adding to that legacy.
Yeah, I don't think this 13 sat here could have quite finished that try in the last few years. But no, I think he's a great prospect. He has a great work ethic, and you can tell he just loves playing. And the more and more time he has on the field, the better he's going to get. And at the moment, this seems to be that they've been gelling well. But this competition, obviously, with Johnny Williams on the bench, they're in a good spot and a great conversion there by Ioan.
Lovely, languid kick at goal from Ioan Lloyd, and adds the extra 2 points of that try, so thoroughly deserves to make it a 7-pointer. And you say he loves playing, you can see the glee in his face even before he got to the try line, the little clenched fist and the grin of delight.
It's been a real problem area now tonight for the Scarlets, just being very messy on kick-off receipts. I was just about to say they needed to be clean and put the pressure back on Zebre, but now Zebre have an opportunity to get back in the game here.
Three out.
There he is again, the danger man. He's got a taste for it as Max Page finds Blair Murray. Equally dangerous as Blair Murray. Two absolute speedsters in this Scarlets backline. And Blair Murray pops up from nowhere yet again to reclaim possession. Sam Costelow a little less frenetic now as he sees a gap over the inexperienced winger's head. Normally a scrum half is Fusco, but maintains his composure. Sends that one down the tram lines to Gareth Davies. Lloyd, first instinct always is to run. Plumtree. And this is much better from the Scarlets. Those passes are beginning to stick. Henry Thomas takes the Roman road and takes 3 defenders with him. Costelow to the line. Max Page shapes the kick. Eddie James does well to gather from behind to Tom Rogers. Rogers with that mesmeric footwork. Oh, and he's nearly through. Tom Rogers, you cannot let this man out of your sight. Davis, Costelow off his bootstraps. Max Page with a change of pace. Taine Plumtree in open space to Blair Murray. Superb from the Scarlets, and all of a sudden they have sparked into life. And this is the Scarlets the fans around the stadium have been waiting to see. We all know how dangerous this backline can be, and suddenly they are carving enormous holes in this Zebre defence.
I think it's fantastic work there from Sam Costelow in the centres, working round from the short side just to release the opportunity. They don't want to waste phases. You know, they've called from out the back, and Taine hits a great line, and the composure to put that pass in, move in at a high speed, it's a great execution of skill. And I think he kind of knows they've scored after he throws a pass and starts celebrating, and he wants to get a bit of the action himself there. I think he's very, very talented rugby player, and Blair Murray does the rest.
So Blair Murray, his mother's from Tonnereville, born and raised in New Zealand, in the Wales squad after 6 games, well 5 games for the Scarlets. Will we see him in the first 15, Jonathan?
He's definitely shown great form, and what I hear from the Scarlets boys, he has a good rugby mind, very confident, and I think it wouldn't surprise me if he is starting in that first game. But there's great competition, and he has to gel into an international setup, and we wait and see, I think.
Well, that was a miscue from the moment he made contact, Ioan Lloyd. So that ball going nowhere near the posts. But despite that, the Scarlets, seemingly in the blink of an eye, were just 7 minutes into this second half. And what was a tight and niggly game at half-time has suddenly been one in which the Scarlets are streets ahead. 23-8 the score here at Parc y Scarlets, and you sense there's more to come.
Oh, definitely, there's an opportunity here. They would have been exactly what would have been spoken at half-time. Really go at them the first 10 minutes and just put them to bed. And you can see the confidence is... there is confidence, but there's still hangover of execution just coming from the first half there. But look, I think Scarlets have got to look to put their foot on the throat of Zebre now, really put them under pressure. They have to expect to, kick on now and just keep them under pressure with that scoreboard ticking over.
Good scrums. Let's work hard to get that standard back.
Well, the official URC win predictor had the Scarlets down as 21-point victors tonight, and after 40 minutes that was looking highly unlikely, but right now it's looking like a reasonable guess.
Crouch.
It's going to get closer. 21 points, you say?
Yeah, they were given a 21-point head start.
Oh.
Steady. Keep it up. Keep it up. Use it. Work down.
Oh, and Gareth Davies gives Gonzalo Garcia absolutely no time. Smashes into him behind the gain line, and Zebre going backwards at a rate of knots now as Max Douglas tries to rip the ball from contact. Garcia gets it away. More errors in the Zebre game. Hint of a knock on there, but not called. Mark comfortably taken by Ioan Lloyd. And Zebre looking a bit shell-shocked.
Yeah, I think that's being influenced by the energy in the Scarlets defence. The speed off the line, meeting them at the gain line, well, beyond the gain line, and just putting them under pressure. I think it's that the Scarlets are looking to impose themselves physically, and it's something where you get your basics. When you get your basics right with your defence, you know, it makes things easier. You get energy. You know, the boys are looking at each other, and there's a real bounce. And there's someone coming flying from the side. I don't know what he was trying to do, to be honest. There,
that was more NFL than URC. So a couple of substitutions. Ioan Elias is off. Marnus van der Merwe is on. And the man who was the victim, of course, of that Johan Grobbelaar high tackle that led to the red card last week and contributed to the victory. There he is, the big South African, really strong ball carrier.
Just came in, so there wasn't.
And he's been in one of Rassie Erasmus's alignment squad, so on the radar of the Springboks.
No, he doesn't make contact with anybody. I saw it live as well.
Henry Thomas
you guys pulled away.
in a bit of pain there.
If he makes contact, I understand. Everybody pulled away.
Yeah, I think Josh Macleod was just asking the referee about that reckless challenge at right time.
I think Josh should just be making sure, is it safe for him to go into that jacket position with that? You know, that's... He's come from an angle there of speed, and you know,
on the line.
Don't want to see that too often.
Okay, yellow, let's come in.
I think the referee's explanation why there wasn't a sanction was that the waves parted.
All right, yellow, let's come in.
Didn't actually clatter into anyone.
Time back on. Guys, you're leaving the line out before the time. Let's get that timing right. Don't leave before.
So a needless penalty, or rather a needless reset, as Zebre just get their timing wrong in that lineup. One more opportunity now for Tommaso Di Bartolomeo, but he makes a hash of it.
Go backwards.
And it's back on the Scarlet side. Henry Thomas flops onto the ball to control it. Van der Merwe always makes yards, the big South African. He's still going up to the halfway line. Gareth Davies puts the ball high up into the Llanelli night sky. Priscantelli is underneath it.
Tackle, release.
Blair Murray is hot on his heels.
That's good from Gareth Davies there. Obviously, Scarlets have played quite a bit the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, but just playing in the right areas, not trying to overplay and give Zebre opportunities, make them work hard and gain, you know, earn that territory. But yeah, great play from Gareth.
So advance has been played from a knock-on, so Ioan Lloyd gets a second dib at this.
Leave it.
Gareth Davies has to go digging, and
that's fine. Just come back from knock-on.
It's messy on the floor, but we'll go back for that knock-on. Scrum down for the Scarlets, and Henry Thomas remains on the field after receiving treatment for what looked like a bit of a painful shoulder.
Time off, prop down. All right. Let's go, guys. Watch off. Let's go, watch off.
I think he is one of probably the most versatile players I've ever played with.
Ready,
I think the skill level he has and the ability to create something from nothing it was so impressive, and thoroughly enjoyed working with him. Although when I was up against him one-on-one, he made me look like a fool. He, you know, he a great willing to learn and get better, and you know, been a great addition since he's come from Bristol. And you know, shown his value being able to play anywhere in the backline, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. He pretty much has in Bristol and here. He's been shifted around. He's strong-willed as well. We asked him a few weeks ago, where does he want to play? And he just said 10.
Crouch.
One-word answer. Whereas we asked the same question of Ben Thomas the week earlier, and he gave us the classic politician's answer. I'll play anywhere I'm picked.
Whatever the coach wants, I'll do. Don't worry about it.
I suppose it was something that the likes of James Hook experienced, John, in his career. You know, sometimes that versatility can be a curse as much as a blessing.
Yeah, you're right. I think I think it just shows the amount of talent these players have, and I think you know, going through seasons, picking up injuries, and you know, if you have players with the ability to play multi-positions, I think Scarlets are fortunate. They got Ioan Nicholas as well, who can play anywhere across the back line pretty much, and you know, these guys are just great to have, and huge assets, and their personal game might be, you know, hampered, but it gives them a crack to, it helps the team out. And these guys actually love playing for the team as well.
He always seems to save his best for Cardiff as well, which is his hometown. But 2 seasons running he's played against Cardiff in Cardiff and won man of the match both times.
I think he's probably looking forward to good celebrations afterwards, and he makes sure he can walk around his hometown with the man of the match medal on.
Who says tribalism's dead in Welsh rugby? So powerful scrum from the Scarlets. The fumble at the base mattered not because the penalty was already coming, and now the Scarlets have a chance inside the Zebra's 22 to go for this 4th and bonus point try. And you'd have to say, even though there's more than half of the second half left, another try now would put the game beyond Zebra's reach, surely. Scarlets get that maul working. Taine Plumtree just urging his forwards to keep pushing, keep driving. As it splinters a little, goes off to the left. Van der Merwe has possession of the ball, 5 metres out. Dragged to the floor, now it's a ruck. Macleod. Gareth Davies marshalling his troops.
Slow ball there. What's the number again? No arms tackle. 17. 17, no arms tackle.
So we come back for that foul play. No arms tackle from Mohamed Hassa.
I'd like to see them go for a scrum here, just to open up both sides of the field, and they're not going to listen to me, and they'll go for touch.
They've got no respect. Well, you mentioned the fatigue creeping in, John, and I guess that's another indication of how it's playing out in this game. Penalty count creeping up now, and most of them being given away by Zebre. Sign of a team under pressure.
Yeah, and I think, you know, unfortunately, those early changes have probably affected them
15
more than they wanted to, really. And you know, the last line out, the pressure, the setup, Scarlets got it, the maul rolling there, and I think that's exactly what they're looking to do now, and you know, get that bonus point and hopefully seal the game in their mind. So you know, I don't think we'll see the ball being moved too far from the maul here.
Yep, they keep it tight as predicted, and they're heading towards that try line. What can Zebre do to disrupt this? They try and drag it towards the touchline, and they succeed in doing so. But it's a side entry yet again from Zebre. Davide Ruggeri has been on the wrong side of the referee's whistle a few times in this game. And you've got to wonder, when might he reach for a card? So the 3rd consecutive line out now for the Scarlets on the 5-metre line. And there's confirmation of that penalty count. It's up to 10 now for Zebre. 10 normally a reasonable amount to concede in an entire game, and we're only 56 minutes into this one. To the front, Lousi juggles and catches, and now that's a much better maul. Josh Macleod breaks off, flops over the line, and he looks up almost apologetically like it was too easy, but it's a captain's try, as he scored last week, and crucially for the Scarlets, that is the bonus point try. They are heading towards maximum points at Parc y Scarlets.
Great patience. I think this second half performance has been a real positive one from the Scarlets. I think the graphic showed there are only 2 penalties conceded this whole game. That shows a real improvement in the discipline that the issues that they've had at the start of the year, and it allows them to play in the right areas. And I don't think Josh will score many easier tries than that. And like you said, the apologetic nature and the pose is a very nonchalant one there, I have to say. It's almost the line, paint me like your French girls, Jack, from the Titanic.
Well, he likes dropping over the try line this season, does Josh Macleod. Try last week against the Bulls, as we mentioned, and another one against Zebre. And Ioan Lloyd, he's had a couple of attempts from wide out on the touchline. This is another one, the right side this time for a right-footed kicker. And, well, you said Josh Macleod was nonchalant. That was pretty nonchalant too.
It's great to see Josh back on the field. He's had some torrid luck with injuries over the last couple of years, and he seemed to be really gaining confidence in his performance, and he's been a leader of this team now the last couple of years, and I'm sure he's enjoying just being back out there with the boys instead of being on the sidelines watching. And it's great to see him performing at a high level.
So Kemsley Mathias is on the loose head side for Alec Hepburn, and Sam Wainwright comes onto the tight head. So both internationals themselves, Kemsley Mathias in Warren Gatland's Wales squad. In fact, the only member of the 8, or the only number of the 8 Scarlets who didn't start tonight. So all 8 of the Scarlets selected in the Wales squad are featuring here tonight, which is exactly what the fans want to see. And there's Sam Wainwright, who got capped under Wayne Pivac and hasn't really had much of a look in since, but there was that famous night in Bloemfontein, John, where Sam Wainwright came on in the dying moments and had one job to lock the scrum, and he did it admirably.
Locked it out, he did. Sam's a great professional. Extremely hard worker, and he tries to master every part of his craft, and I think over time you'll just see him grow and grow into a great Scarlet, and I'm sure he will be back in that international fold soon enough.
North Walian by birth, Bodwell Withen, and of course came through the Saracens, which is where he first came to the attention of Wayne Pivac.
I'll go louder.
He's toned down the mullet a bit as well since he first joined, because that was quite spectacular.
Persistent bullying from boys has finally worn thin, I think, on that.
I think we've reached peak mullet.
Crouch.
But no comment on that, to be honest. A simple short back and sides will be doing me.
Set.
So free kick taken quickly by Gareth Davies. Eddie James. Scarlets really got the bit between their teeth now, looking to counter from deep. Blair Murray. And Montemaure is back. Has to jog backwards to collect that one inside his 22. And he's appealing to the touch judge, saying, come on, it went further than that. But the line out is called on the 10-metre line.
The benefit there of Blair Murray's left foot. I think I would have liked to have just seen him just drop it in behind, not put the full club, put the driver out, just a little pitch and wedge, a 15-20 metre kick where you have to bring the 15 onto it. The 15s hate coming onto the ball, this dribbling on forward with the defence running after them. So I think it's just that talk of where's the space, and instead of putting it down the other end of the field, like a little grubber, 15-20 metre grubber could have been a better option. But great ambition from the Scarlets there to move the ball, and they've got an attacking line out now.
Taine Plumtree, yet again the recipient of the line out. Such a reliable pair of hands, and there's Sam Lousi, big Sam Lousi, bulldozing his way through. Alex Craig, there's some real grunt in this Scarlets pack now, with the likes of Craig, Douglas, Lousi, and in Blair Murray you've just got an absolute rare talent. Short in stature, but powerful around the thighs, and quick as you like in open space. Good skills to keep that ball alive from the Scarlets. But it's back in Zebre hands now.
Number 12, Damiano Mansa.
And use it.
Well, it's slow and ponderous, and there's a Scarlets hand on that with a charge down, and Plumtree, as so often the case, is the first to claim the loose possession. Costelow, crossfield kick. Who's on the end of this one? Oh, and it's well taken ultimately by Montemari. He read that one well.
Great take there. I think Costelow was just a bit indecisive. We didn't know whether to move in it through the hands or put it on the boot, and then by that then the 15 had time to get across. But great work from the Scarlets, making Zebre work extremely hard, forcing the error. This is a far better performance in the second half, and I'm sure they'll be looking to build on that lead on the scoreboard.
So a bouncing ball, never know where a bouncing rugby ball is going to go, and it goes into Zebre's hands, and they're now into Scarlets territory. But in this second half, when they have had the ball, they've lacked fluidity, lacked imagination. They try and work it to the edge, but Max Page and Ioan Lloyd drag the ball carrier towards the touchline. Just managed to keep it in field to Zebre. Ruggeri, Garcia, and that's the Ray at fly half now.
On the ball.
Oh, once again, just at the base of that ruck. They're not protecting the ball. Garcia watches as it dribbles between his legs, and Zebre look like a team that are beginning to run out of ideas, and they are certainly struggling when it comes to execution.
Great 15. 15.
Yeah, they just seem to be losing a bit of shape in the midfield. I think one-up runners, you know, and the way the Scarlets are defending the second half, they're not going to get anything from that. They need to get into their shape. You know, they tried to at the end of the play to have that pace of play, but it's just like you said, the execution, the story of the night so far is that, you know, the errors in certain passages of play have just cost both teams probably points on the board. But you know, I think Zebre just fatigue setting in, to be honest. I think they're just a bit unsure what they're trying to achieve in that middle, in between the two 10-metre lines, you know, whether to kick and put pressure, but when you're chasing a 22-point deficit, it's a big ask, and you know, you probably get forced to play the way you probably don't want to play, and that's what happens when you have pressure put on you.
Yeah, the weight of history against them as well. The Scarlets have never lost to Zebre. 17 times these two teams have faced each other. 16 Scarlets victory, 1 draw in that tally. In fact, Zebre haven't beaten a Welsh side in the league since April of 2022. Perfect lineup for the Scarlets tonight. 11 on their own throw, they've won them all, and most of them have been won by that man, Taine Plumtree. Man of the match last week and having another fine game this week. And that ball is creeping forwards and building up in momentum and speed. And the Scarlets will be happy for now to keep this one tight, because they are making momentum up the field. Now, splits off Van der Merwe up to the 22. Zebre come up hard in defence.
Great tackle.
Great tackle on Josh Macleod, but it's a penalty to the Scarlets.
Holding on.
Tackle was good, but Zebre then penalised for holding on.
Disappointing there for the Scarlets. They obviously get momentum. They would have had the right numbers in place, and not to get that clean in early enough to take out the threat of the jackal. You know, they'd be frustrated with that for sure.
So Zebre get to clear their lines, and
8 and 9.
get themselves back into Scarlets territory. But time is their enemy now. They don't want to get back into this game. They have to score next. They have to score fast. And Taine Plumtree leaves the field. It's a high fives and taps of appreciation. So too Gareth Davies.
Great work from those two tonight. You know, they've been, they seem to be building a relationship at 8 and 9 and an understanding, and it's you know, two key members to this performance so far that, you know, put Scarlets in a great position to get this bonus point win.
There was Jarrod Taylor there, who's come on for Taine Plumtree, another off-season signing, South African Schools International, another abrasive customer in the back row of that Scarlets pack. And this time Zebre set up a maul of their own. Starts to get a bit of purchase. Gonzalo Garcia. Strong running from Lukin, but the ball squeezes out again, and Eddie James has got some open field in front of him. He's got support in the form of Josh Macleod, but oh, the pass just didn't manage to find his captain. So we'll go back for that that knock on from Josh Macleod, but Eddie James looked up and saw open prairie in front of him, and there was panic in those Zebre defenders' eyes.
Great skill set there from the hooker. Fair play. You know, Eddie took the ball there, and you know, unfortunately Josh couldn't quite take it. And obviously, getting those lungs back after being out for so long, it might take him a couple more games to get up to speed. You won't appreciate me saying that, but no, it's the game's opening up, and this, you know, last few 13 minutes of the game, we got to look at where the Scarlets are going to put Zebre under pressure, and I think it's keeping the ball on the park, making them work, and really, you know, putting the foot on the throat and just finishing it off. And that's the perfect example there from the Scarlets. You know, get into the Zebre red zone area and just executing well, like this one. You know, all-round game been very good this second half.
Yeah, as that little montage has shown there, so many line breaks tonight, so many times the Scarlets have cut that Zebre defensive line more and more as the match has gone on.
But I'm sure they'll be working on the kickoff receipt come Monday, because that's probably the one thing that hasn't been up to probably the standard that they expect. And but no, I think when you look back at this performance, there's a lot of good, and you know, there's room for improvement. This first block of games has been positive for the Scarlets. You know, things with a few close losses could have been so much different, but they seem to be in a good place and confident place, and a group of boys that really enjoy playing with each other.
Well, momentum's a funny thing in sport, isn't it? It was not that long ago we were talking about no wins in 3 and the pressure coming on, but what a difference a couple of weeks makes. They're now on the verge of a 3rd successive win, and arguably the form region in Wales.
Yeah, professional sport, it's, you know, it changes in an instant, and you know, I think that the key thing for the Scarlets is they've just kept going about their business. I'm sure, you know, whenever you start a season, you've worked on things for about 2 months in your pre-season, and you know, it's being able to adapt and maintain things that have worked that you're happy with, but then making quick adjustments and really trying to kick on with those performances. And the Scarlets have done that. You know, they should close out this game with the win, but you know, there's still a bit more work to do on that line. You jinxed them from the last one, I think.
It's called the commentator's curse, John. You'll get used to that.
Okay, well, I'm not getting anything right these days, right?
And use it.
So Garcia sends that one skyward. And Blair Murray. It was heading for the touchline, but I think the wind just blew it slightly back in field, and Murray took his eye off the ball just for the briefest of nanoseconds, and that was enough.
Coming this side. Yeah.
Well, I guess what the difference is between this season and last, John, that the Scarlets started last season with that trip to South Africa, which was the most thankless series of fixtures to kick off any season with. And we're on the back foot from the opening few rounds, weren't they? The first 3 rounds of this season, arguably, they could have won all those games.
And things could have been totally different. But looking back at last year, that was probably the most difficult start to a season I've ever had. 30-degree heat at altitude. Good luck, but you know, the Scarlets have definitely built this year so far, and you know, it's a totally different outlook. And you know, I think you look at the defence, the way the energies come in. You know, the boys seem on their toes, they seem fit, and what I've liked is that the replacements coming on have really brought energy. You know, Van der Merwe, carrying, energetic, physical. There is a lot of positives from tonight. Obviously, we've talked about the turnovers and the kick-off receipts, but you know, at the moment they should be pretty happy with where they are.
So Zebre are not giving up as Luca Bigi throws into this lineup. And they've still got an appetite for this close water stuff of Zebre. The vastly experienced Luca Bigi peels off Garcia. Ferrari. Ball ripped in contact from Sam Costelow. Kemsley Mathias.
No.
Zebre claiming the ball was out. Referee says hands off.
They want to move this. They want.
And it's the crossfield kick again. Who's on the end of it? Well, Jarrod Taylor was there, but just beyond his reach. Great skills from Sam Costelow. Why is it some players can do that and others seemingly can't? Owen Watkins, brilliant at it. James Hook was always good at it.
I think it's just a natural talent, really. I think, but you've got to practice it. You know, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, and throughout the week, you know, you've got to, like I said earlier, practicing your craft. What things that you point the differences. If you're very good at jackling, you're obviously going to practice that and make that better. Obviously, Costello's a great tackler. You know, he'll chop anyone down, but he's trying to develop his defensive game. As an assist tackler, he's looking to get those rips on, and you know, he'll work on that in the week along with other all-round game attributes that he has.
So a bit of a trick play from Zebre. Ball goes back to Bigi and he makes good yards down the touchline. And the Scarlets will not want to concede anything now after establishing such a healthy lead at Parc y Scarlets. There's definitely a sense that they've not quite shut up shop, but the urgency's gone from their game in the last 10 minutes. And what they won't want to happen is for Zebre to come back into this and make that scoreboard look a little less flattering.
Yeah, there'd be nothing worse now, just them stuttering toward the finishing line. They want to finish strong, just to take any doubt from it and just keep this momentum that we've talked about. That's great pressure on the ball player there in defence, and they just got to keep that up now for the last 7 minutes.
So there's Simone Gessi, who had a exciting opening 20 minutes, did the left winger, but he's been kept very quiet ever since, and there was absolutely no way through for him there.
Not really way.
So we come back for the advantage that was being played. Scarlets not rolling away at that last ruck. And Zebre wastes no time in kicking that ball to the corner. Well, we talked about the predicted 21-point winning margin, John. At the moment, We're on 22 points. That's pretty accurate.
AI's taking over, isn't it? No, it's a great shout so far, but you know, I expect this to be another driving line out or a trick play down the front again. But it's you know, this is obviously a strength to Zebre, but you know, Scarlets are looking strong here to keep them out. You know, they'll be talking about not conceding the second half, and you know, they're doing a good job to stop that.
Leave it, leave it.
Well, Zebre have been thoroughly outplayed in the second half, but they would love to have the last word as the clock ticks on. 5 minutes left now at Parc y Scarlets. Victory way beyond the visitors, but as this first block of 6 URC fixtures comes to an end, if they can finish with a flourish, it will at least be something to build on when round 7 comes along after the autumn internationals. Yes, they now spin it wide, but it's another fumble. Advantage being played.
5-side entry at the maul.
So Sam Lousi being pinged for side entry at that last maul, and Enrico Lukin, who fumbled that pass, gets a reprieve. And Zebre go to the corner once again.
Yeah. Okay, time is off. Yellow player down. Line's going to be yours, yes. Yeah, just side entry, so you need to come all the way around. From the back to broke your mind. They're going forward, so you have to come from the back.
You talked about Gareth Davies' influence on the game earlier, John. Were you surprised that he called time on his Test career?
Oh, look, I think you kind of know when it's your time, and Gareth probably would have gone to Australia, taken his time to figure out where he's at, and you know, wouldn't have taken the decision lightly. He's been an amazing servant to the international game, and the fact that, you know, he's left his mark with some massive Welsh moments in big games, and you know, he's been a great servant, and you know, I think he's 34, and he probably feels that he wants to enjoy a bit of club rugby for the end of his career, probably.
Still a hugely valuable and a hugely popular member of this Scarlet squad, Gareth Davies. 76 caps, but like you say, so many golden moments in that Wales jersey.
But wouldn't buy you a pint after the game. He's one of the tightest men you find. So yeah, you know, great guy, but struggle to get a pint off him.
Well, I imagine he wouldn't have to buy a pint for anyone in Wales after that. Certainly after that try against England in the 2015 World Cup.
Definitely that, yeah. And he hasn't stopped talking about it either. I think Eddie James has been fantastic tonight. He's been physical when he's wanted to carry, but then I think what's been great of his, the asset that he has, is that he's dictated the pace of the defence. They've stopped coming towards him because he has that ability to play, and the 2 touches for the 2 tries is you know, shows the skills he has.
Oh, that was so close. Had that landed in Scarlet's hands, you'd think there'd have been a 5th try in the cards. As it happens, it landed in Zebre's hands, and now Simone Gessi has a bit of space to work with on the outside. Garcia. Zebre definitely enjoying the possession and territory advantage in these closing stages, but loud cries of yes from the Scarlets as Marnus van der Merwe is hauled back up to his feet. Penalty, Scarlets. And you'd have to say that's the end of Zebre's challenge here tonight. Oh, Max Page, his eyes lit up in delight there as he could see the try line beckoning. And there's van der Merwe, brilliant body position for the South African hooker.
Doesn't look like it'd be easy to move from that position.
Good God, no.
Next job in, nailed it. That's what he wants.
Eddie James. That's come off the outside of the boot and nearly straight into the hands of Fusco. As it happened, came off the hands of Fusco. And Max Page can breathe easy.
Not what I saw.
But definitely a sense, John, that the foot's been taken off the gas in this last 15-20 minutes. Scarlets came out in a kind of fury in the first quarter of that second half and finished the job, really.
Oh, definitely. They put Zebre to the sword and got the reward. You know, they were accurate when they had entries into the 22 and came away with points and really blitzed Zebre in that first 10-15 minutes of the second half. You know, I'm sure they would have had a rocket from Duane at half-time, and you know, they really performed the second half, and like you said, probably started it towards a bit, but what you are seeing is a willing to defend, keep Zebre out, not getting any soft tries. You know, they want to put an exclamation mark on the win, and you know, keeping them scoreless the second half. So it's a big statement. You know, moving forward to tougher games, you're going to have to defend for the full 80 minutes, and it's a mindset really, making sure that, you know, when making yourself as a team, challenge yourself when you've won the game. But it's you know, they're obviously going to have tougher tasks this season, but the way they've gone about their business the second half is very professional.
And they need to wind further, not on the shoulder and pushing away.
19-0 the score in this second half. As you say, Zebre kept scoreless. In fact, they've been kept scoreless since the 11th minute. That was when Ben Cambriani scored that try. Seems an eternity ago now.
Crouch. Point.
Are you playing from here, or are you going to kick out? I tell you, if I was playing, I'd be kicking it straight out.
I was about to say I'm playing.
Let's get in the sheds and call it a day.
Number 70 on the knees and straight down. Yeah.
So Sam Costelow clearly sharing your sentiments, Jonathan. No nonsense. Has booted out. Job done. It is a bonus point victory for the Scarlets. The first time they've won 3 in a row in the league since February 2023. So a corner well and truly turned for the Scarlet side. They couldn't get a win in their first 3, but they've now won 3 in a row. And this victory tonight takes them back into the top half of the table. Still plenty of rugby to be played, of course, this weekend. But job done for the Scarlets. A satisfied, if unsmiling, Dwayne Peel will head back to the changing rooms, where I'm sure Eddie James will be leading the troops with his rendition of Sospenvaag on the drums. But that's it from us on Premier Sports. My thanks to Jonathan and to you guys for watching. We'll see you during the rest of the weekend. Final score here in Llanelli: Scarlets 30, Zebre Palmer 8.
The Stars on the terracing this evening. Reminder, our next home game, Sunday the 15th of December, kick-off 1 p.m. with the London Macleod. Make sure you never miss a moment and relive the action by visiting UnitedRugby.com and sign up to URC TV.
What are that?
Thank you so much for your support. Don't forget that you can buy tickets to all home games Keep an eye out also on our social media channels in November for fantastic half-season membership package details.
Someone to talk about. Games where